What they should have done, if they wanted to win, George Soros should have backed up the money truck to Michelle Obama and said, listen, you are going to run because people like you. They like you. It doesn't matter, you know, about any of the conspiracies. Maybe you are Big Mike. Who cares?
What?
But you are going to run this
I can't believe you went there.
You're going to run this country.
That is the wackiest conspiracy.
It's a wacky conspiracy. Can I make one point for the people that are on the side of it?
Yes.
It is weird, but I don't think she's Big Mike.
Okay.
It is weird that there's not one photo of her pregnant, but maybe there is. Is that not weird? Maybe it's not weird. I don't know.
She's a public person. Why would you want photos of her pregnant out there?
I understand that, but maybe it is weird. Maybe it's not weird. Maybe it's not weird.
Well, also, when she had her kids, were they private or public? Like, when was that? When he was a senator?
I don't know. I just know that
he was a senator, right?
Yes,
before he became president.
For sure.
So what, law school, Senate?
I have no issue because I want to live. I have no issue with Big Mike. I don't care that they killed that sex slave, Martha's Vineyard. That's what happens to sex slaves. They drown in ponds. That's what happens. You ruling class, you drown in a pond. That's what happens. If you get your little mouthy, you go into the pond. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's good. I actually think it's good. I think it makes our country fun. I think it makes us unique. I think Putin and them are scared of that.
They do it all the time.
I think Putin and the Chinese are like, you know, they don't know what's going on there because they got people that maybe they're men, maybe they're women. We don't know. I think if it's not real, make it real. Put it out. Would it be anything better than her at the DNC, whip her and go, and I'm Big Mike? The Chinese would lose their mind. The Chinese would give up. They would give up. If Michelle Obama took her out at the Democratic National Convention, the Chinese would go, we're throwing in the towel. We can't compete with them. That's I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Oh, my God.
I am president. I'm going to tell you what people need, huh? People need money. Lots and lots of money. That's right. We gonna print so much damn money. I'm gonna give every single American $1 million. And then we gonna have a big ass party with all us millionaires.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. Tim Dillon is obviously one of the funniest people on planet Earth. Tim Dillon, if you're not familiar with him, you'd have to be living under a rock, but he is just a great comic. He is based in California, and he had a lot to say on Joe Rogan's recent podcast, specifically about maybe the most powerful Californian in the world right now, Kamala Harris. I have never seen Joe Rogan laugh this hard, not in many, many years. I'm a massive Joe Rogan fan. Obviously, a lot of the way that we do business around here and a lot of the things that we, including our microphone, like we idealize Joe Rogan. We're big fans of what he does. We like Joe a lot. I've never seen him laugh like this. Then when Tim Dillon walked into his studio and called Kamala Harris a gypsy. Watch.
From now.
There's no way.
How?
Newsom is coming up and trying to run. There are other people that are circling. I don't think he runs again. I can't see it. I don't see it.
How do you think they get Kamala Harris to step down? Because she's rightfully, if he steps down, you know, until
Kamala Harris cannot say a sentence. It's almost, she's almost worse than him. She talks in like gypsy curses. When they ask her something, she'll be like, my grandma said that a hive of bees is still bees if you bury it. And you're like, what the f is this bitch saying?
Gypsy curses.
That's how she speaks. The woman has no idea what's going on.
Okay. So, is Tim Dillon correct? Well, there's only one movie that we know of that has gypsies in it that don't know how to speak and who curse a lot. And, well, that would be the movie Snatch. Also, a great Guy Ritchie movie. Really entertaining movie. We have done a face swap of Kamala Harris in that movie. We hope that you enjoy it. Let me know if you agree with our assessment here. Tim Dillon, I believe, is very right.
Not say a sentence. She's almost worse than him. She talks in like gypsy curses.
Gypsies.
What are you doing, Potter? Get out the way back.
Can't really understand much of what is being said.
You tell me. Come about the caravan.
It's not English.
How are you? Fair, what has been kind is for the horses, you know?
Okay. All right. So he's totally right, and that's just a great way to say it. Again, Joe Rogan barreling over laughing, along with, of course, the opening about Big Mike. Tim Dillon, you went there, baby. You went there. Joe Rogan went there talking about Biden's crimes. I wasn't expecting this. Joe Rogan pulling up House Republicans' report on Joe Biden's payments from all of the most evil leaders on planet Earth, $20 million plus. Check this out.
Third bank memo detailing payments to the Bidens from Russia, Kazakhstan, and Ukraine. What's the number? 20 million. They now have the committee has now identified over 20 million in payments for foreign sources to the Biden family and their business associates.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, you don't stay in, there's no way that they looked at him and went, he should be the president unless they knew for a fact that he's controlled and being managed.
Yeah, this is all.
There's just no way he's
so wild.
They want a guy he's been a company man forever. He's, you know, he started his career letting, you know, people in Delaware, like these credit card companies do whatever the they wanted. And he had that, you know, the architect of the crime bill where they sent a lot of nonviolent drug affairs. But he's a company man. Like, he's a guy.
Yeah.
Joe Biden's been a guy. It's why Obama had him as vice president. He was never like an articulate guy. He was never that great at it. He was just a guy he's a solid Washington insider forever. And that's what he is. And now he's old, but that's what he is. A guy that's just been in the system for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's what he is.
This is the reason why I love Joe Rogan's podcast, is that you are able to see how much of the political world breaks through to the normies. I'm not calling Joe Rogan a normie. What I'm saying here is that, like, his listenership is possibly hearing some of these things for the first time. Whether it be Big Mike or whether it be talking about the Biden crime family, the listenership of Joe Rogan is massive. You're talking 12, 14, 15 million people per download, per episode. You're talking the biggest deal in all of podcasting, $200 million from Spotify. Because of those listeners, obviously, worth every single penny of it. And so this man is white pilling and red pilling just an enormous amount of people with stories like this about the Bidens. Because everywhere else in society is this crystal clean, beautiful, manicured, primrose image of Joe Biden and his family. And that is, of course, a falsehood. It is a lie. It is a narrative. It is a propaganda that has been manufactured. Joe Biden's not real. None of his story is real. Joe Biden cheated on his wife with the babysitter. That's how you get Jill Biden. Joe Biden used his kids as props when there was a tragic accident that killed his wife and his daughter. Joe Biden is a dirty, dangerous, evil man, and he's a company man. He's also a terrible father, obviously. And that was also discussed in this Tim Dillon podcast.
Reason?
Yeah, they had a meeting over the holidays where they're like, we're assessing
July 4th holidays?
No, this was during the holidays. And they were like, the Biden family had this meeting, Jamie could look it up, where they were like,
December.
Yeah, where they were like, we're going to see if he's going to run again. And Jill and Hunter and the rest of the crew met, and they decided it's a great idea for him to run again. And I'm like, it's crazy sending a guy that old into battle again. And I don't, so.
There was some article, Jamie, about the accusations of how much money they received. And like some new one came out today. They were trying to figure out how much money the Biden family received during this whole Hunter Biden scandal thing.
Right. What's a big scandal? People are going like, well, his son's an addict and he stood by his son. Number one, don't stand by it. Like if a laptop came out where I had done what Hunter Biden did, my family would tell people I was dead. Like, yeah, and they're not even the president. My dad sells wine and he wouldn't admit, like, there is a time you cannot support your kids, by the way. What are we talking about? People are like, well, he's a good father. It's like, is he? Was he?
Do you think it was his coke at the White House?
Whose coke is it outside? It's definitely his coke. But I don't like narcs and rats, so I think he should be able to have a little, he can have a blast.
Yeah, what's the big deal? You're at your dad's house.
If your father's a president, you can't have a blast? You can't do a little bump?
Okay. So you have the breakthrough now of this story you see here leading the Daily Mail, that Republicans are now accusing the DOJ of cover-up, special counsel probe, Biden's business dealings. They're losing the narrative here. This is why there was a full court press to get Joe Rogan off the air. There was a full court press at the beginning of the year to say that Joe Rogan is a dangerous conspiracy theorist and he shouldn't be allowed to speak. I mean, they threw everything that they had at Joe Rogan. CNN manipulated a video that Joe Rogan put out when he got COVID to make him look worse. They're losing the narrative. It is partially because of Joe Rogan's show that they lose the narrative. There are people who are very curious about what's going on in the mainstream. We used to call that journalism. It's amazing. You go back even to the 1990s and they had, and by they, I'm talking about Newsweek specifically, back when Newsweek was a relatively powerful magazine, had in their hands dead to rights Bill Clinton's sex escapades in the White House. And they didn't report on it. They didn't do anything about it. They let it hang on the vine and dry. It had to fall to a blog, Drudge Report's the name, for you to find out that Bill Clinton's having sex in the White House. So people don't trust the press. People don't trust the media. They listen to people like Joe Rogan, one for entertainment, but then also literally for their news. And good for them. If more people got their news from Joe Rogan, he and I certainly don't agree on everything, but if more people got their news from Joe Rogan, at the very least, they'd get balanced news and they get curiosity news. Like, I'm curious, why are the Bidens so corrupt? Why is Kamala so utterly cringeworthy? And maybe ask some questions about how our election systems work, which got Joe Rogan in huge trouble this past week because he talked about broken voter systems with Patrick Bet-David on his last podcast. And this is one of the only people, including people on Fox News, that are allowed to actually talk about this, is Joe Rogan. So he's a national treasure. God bless Joe Rogan. Protect this man. He's fighting to end communism. There's something Joe Rogan is not. Is a communist. And we are fighting to end communism here. Like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy Benny. See ya.